Good morning, everybody. Welcome to week 2 of Mr. Proto's Science Classroom at home. Thomas, wave hi to everybody. This is my assistant, Thomas. He's very excited about my new science notebook that I'm going to be keeping track of everything in. Can I have my marker, please, Thomas? Thank you. Thomas picked out the green marker. Before we begin this week's experiment, let's check in on how our experiment's doing from last week. I have our 4 pieces of bread here, and after 1 week, I'm looking at the one with dirty hands, the one that touched my keyboard, the one that touched nothing at all, and the one that touched our clean hands, and I'm not seeing any bacterial growth yet. I'm not seeing anything grow on them. Do they look different at all, Thomas? No. No, all of them still look the same. So, we're going to put those aside, and we'll check back in with those pieces of bread every week. Now, the experiments that I'm doing here, you can do at home. But if you're short on supplies or you don't have everything that I do, you don't have to. You can just watch the videos and learn that way as well. So, oh, I love you too, Thomas. So, today's experiment, we're going to need 1 jar of, what's in here?
Vinegar.
That's right, a jar of vinegar. Then give me the next jars. We have a jar of water, plain water, a smaller jar. An empty jar, we'll talk about that in a second, in a jar of salt water. The salt water doesn't have to be exactly the same strength as the one I use, but the salt water we're using is 1.5 cups of water with 30 grams of salt in it. Then finally we're going to need 3. That's right, we're going to need 3 eggs.
1,
2.
3.
Perfect. All right, Thomas, get the jar of vinegar and open it up. Vinegar is a weak acid, and it can actually dissolve the calcium in the eggshells. So,
Put this one in.
okay, put it in gently. What we're actually doing right now is we're removing the eggshells from the egg without breaking them. Now, you're going to have to leave it completely covered with vinegar for about 24 hours. It might take a little bit longer than that. Thank you, Thomas. Close that up and place it somewhere where it won't be disturbed for 24 hours. Don't close it all the way though, because gas is going to build up. So put a lid on it, but leave it loose. That way the gas can escape. And through the magic of having been prepared beforehand, I have 3 eggs whose shells we already removed. I did these last night. And you can see that they're eggs, but how do they feel?
Squishy.
That's right, they feel very squishy.
And this one's white.
Yeah, this one's white because I didn't wash it yet. When you first take the eggs out of the solution, they'll be squishy and white. If you rub them underneath running water, then you can get all of the leftovers off and you'll only see the membrane, which is really interesting because an egg is just 1 cell. Your body is made up of trillions of cells. All living things are made of cells. But an egg cell is just 1 cell, and you can actually see the yolk, which is right in the center. You can see the whole egg right in that membrane. So here's what we're going to do. Don't squish it too hard, otherwise it'll pop like a water balloon. I have a scale in front of me. If you don't have a scale, that's fine. But I do, so I'll be using it. And we're going to weigh each egg, and we're going to put it in one of these containers. First off, let's remember to measure it in grams, not ounces, because we're scientists. So, egg number 1. Oh, what's the number, Thomas? Do you know that number?
1.
What number does that say?
8, 7.
Close. 79. 79 grams.
79 grams.
So egg number 1 is 79 grams. We're going to put that into a container we labeled control. It's completely empty. Remember, the control is the part of the experiment that doesn't change. You've changed nothing, so I can have something to go back and compare it to. All right. the next one. Open up the next container. Here's the container for water. Let's measure the one that goes in the water.
There's one number 2. So I'm holding the number 3 one.
Okay. This one is 71 grams. Is going into the fresh water. Put it in gently, gently. There you go. These we can cover all the way now. We don't have to worry about gas escaping. And put the last one on the last one. There you go.
Hey,
The last egg
I won't
also
do
weighs 71 grams, and it's going into the salt water.
and it's hot, but
That's right. I used hot water to dissolve the salt in, but then we let it cool down. Because hot water helps the salt dissolve better. So, this egg goes right in,
Martin?
and cover it up for me. Again, if you don't have a scale, don't worry about the measurements. You can still do the experiment at home. You still will see results, but it's a little more interesting if we take down the numbers also. So I did that. To go over one last time, we have 1 egg in fresh water that weighs 71 grams, 1 egg in salt water that weighs 71 grams, and 1 egg, it's the control, nothing's changed, and it weighs 79 grams right now. It's must have come from a bigger chicken. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I hope that you had a good week. I'll see you again next week, and look for other posts. Oh, don't forget the marker. On Google Classroom. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thomas, look at the camera.
Bye.